became wanted at around about.
All right,
God.
continue.
Yeah, so the turning point came when I got wanted on about.
Hello, welcome to the Shine Spot, and with me is Mr. Samuda. I call him Jack, but Jason Samuda it is. I'm a friend. Long time we don't see each other, but I'm a friend. Like, you know them friend that were in your heart. So I wanted him on the Shine Spot. Took a little while, but here he is. Happy to have him. I thought it honorable to have him on the Shine Spot because he has a lot to share, a lot to offer. I know that many of you will be inspired just based on his experiences, his journey, and him just a radical youth. Yeah. So, do you have anything to say to the people?
Um, it's good to be here. Good to see my friend, my very long time friend. I haven't seen her in a while. It so happened that I, ran into her on my 20th wedding anniversary, which is a good look.
Well, I put a picture there,
So yeah, it's a good look. So
yes.
Naki, my friend, long time friend. We work together. We do what we have to do.
Yes.
And yeah, so it's good to be here. So yeah,
let's flow. I soon give it. We soon get the history. So we're gonna start with a game. So this game, Mishka say we play it.
Okay, all right, no
So
problem.
we work it. So she say you go pick one and you tell us what comes to mind when you see it. So me I go pick and you pick.
All right.
I must say so. I'm not really sure if I saw, but we are play.
So we just follow.
We just follow anything she say.
It's sensible, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So what comes to your mind? Which word you have?
I have cross.
Oh, so what comes to your mind when you think about cross?
Yeah, first thing that comes to mind when I think about cross is Jesus.
Okay, all right. Let me see now. Silent. Think about like when we were high school and then them say the whole class in silence. Them used to put us in silence a lot. Should we chat so much more regularly?
Yes.
So that comes to mind.
Okay.
You go on now.
Continue.
Yes.
All right. This is what? Politician. Right.
Something most fresh in your brain right
Yeah,
now.
what comes to my mind is this big increase that, I'm so disappointed in the Prime Minister.
And if you're disappointed, you're disappointed.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed. Yeah, very disappointed. Yeah.
All right. Hot. Okay. That's what we've been experiencing since the start of the summer.
Oh my God, the heat.
Wicked. All right. Your turn.
This is a phone.
Oh, I guess I should turn my roast.
Phone, that comes to mind. Phone. Yeah, phone. I need to call my wife to tell her that I reach home safe and everything.
Oh, you're not calling her yet?
No, not
Marianne! I'm calling you right now. Oh gosh. Frame. Picture frame.
Picture frame. Pose. Alright. Outlet. Outlet. Yeah, I think there's an outlet that we plug in to get current. There's one inside, so I need to fix. So outlet that I need to fix comes to mind.
Year. 2023, year of promise. Oh, you have cameraman. Oh, sorry, look up. I'm distracted. Year of promise that we are in 2023. That come to mind.
Alright, year of promise.
Yes.
So this is brain. What comes to mind? Brain. Okay, what comes to mind when I say the word brain? Oh, I have a working brain. And I thank God for that.
All right. Tube. YouTube, like what we're doing now, like KitaShines YouTube channel.
Oh, nice. This is between.
Between.
What comes to mind? Nothing comes to mind when I say between though. I'll pass this one. Do I still get a mark? Let's see.
No. Easy. Easy my life. Yeah, that come to mind. So, wanna get the gist of the games.
Nice.
And we're moving on. So, I want you to tell the people who you are. Just based on growing up, if somebody were to say, tell me who is Jason Samuda, what would you say to the people?
All right. Growing up, Jason Samuda, affectionately known as Jack. Growing up, I born and grew in the inner city. Being exposed to what we have known as 4Gs. I was exposed to 4Gs long before 4G come about.
What name 4G?
The 4G is girls, guns, ganja, and gang. So,
Interesting.
so this was what I was exposed to. Not as a teen, prior to being a teen. So this was what us as boys were exposed to. When we finished high school, um, and the journey continues. Jack, in a nutshell, I am a sports freak. Football is my passion. Support, one of the biggest club in England, which is Chelsea Football Club. I love
You
sports.
see
I
me
love
Shketi?
football. Yeah, I love
She's a
football.
Chelsea fan.
Oh, awesome. You're a good girl. Yeah, I love football. I love sports, cricket, tracks, once it's sports, is me. I'm a people person. I love to be happy. I love when people are happy. I get along with happy people, not, sulky people or sad people, or miserable people. Even though my wife is miserable, I have to get along with that nonetheless. I'm very family oriented. Christian for the past 23 years, very active in youth ministry. Very committed, dedicated, hard-working individual.
True, true.
Yeah, so that is Jack in a nutshell.
True, true. All right. So we're going to start at the beginning of the 4Gs because when I heard 4G, I automatically thought about network,
Network, right, right,
digital flow, and these things.
right,
All right.
right.
Now, tell us exactly, if you can remember, approximately what age you became immersed into the 4Gs.
I think around about age 8. I think
8 years old?
yeah, I think I was in around about maybe 8, about 3 grade thereabout. And I remember all those zinc fence Naki, so them time they have cellar. So the bigger guys can't go under the cellar. So it's we the smaller one, crocus bag, the guns them, have to crawl down under the cellar, you're exposed to maybe scorpion, fat leg and all these things. But you still have to go under there, you have to hide the guns them,
Wow.
as early as morning when them don't do what them have to do. And then in the night, you have to go for them, carry them out, and do what them have to do. Sometimes you're up on the corner, you have to watch same way and see what take place. And so, yeah, I was exposed on about from 8, 9 there about.
And when was the turning point for you?
All right, the turning point was when I became wanted. At around about.
All right, continue.
So the turning point came when I got wanted on about 15, 16, somewhere there about. And, got into trouble. Police are looking for me and sort of things, mommy, wanted to send me to country. I decided I'm not a country youth. I don't know nothing about country. So we decided to go amongst my brother for a little while until things cool down, then we'll go back. So there was a turning point amongst my brother, Jerry, my bigger brother.
Big up yourself, Jerry,
Yes,
I remember.
He's a Christian.
Yes.
And his wife, them time let me hear call him, and take with me earring, make me go to barber. I didn't have any, any church clothes per se, so Jerry had to give me pants, shoes, and shirt. And them time the Nike, Jerry wearing size 9. And, me 15, 16, maybe a size 7. So just can imagine,
Yes.
up to now, I still not reach size 9. So I have
From
to
them
stuff
time
the
they wear
shoes.
big shoes,
Yes,
yes.
I have to stuff the shoes, and the pants now, I have to fold the pants waist and the big
Wow.
shirt.
But you
and
had
the
to go.
jam. I had to go based on what he said. If you are going to be here, you have to go to church. It's not a choice. So that's where the turning point. And I remember, one evening, the first time I went to church, I sleep out the service. I don't know what happened. But the second time, I think it was carrying service.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
yeah, him carry me, put me to sit down and I see him gone. And I see people are run up and down and I was like, what is this? Because, this was foreign to me. At first, me I'm coming at this setting. First, I'm seeing this.
Let me pause right there. For those of you who don't understand, tarrying service is in mostly the Pentecostal churches where we wait for the Holy Spirit to infill us because we believe in speaking in tongues and just allowing the Holy Spirit to have his way with us. True?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was what was taking place. And, I saw all of that. I did not know what was happening because this was foreign to me. And I sat there and I remember vividly, as if somebody is saying to me, I'm giving opportunity to surrender.
Wow.
If you leave and go back,
That's
you're
it.
not going to make it.
Wow.
And I sat there and I called my brother's wife, I tell her that I wanted to become a Christian. When I had that conversation with her, she called Jerry. Jerry come, him sit with me and talk with me, or pray, and the tears started to flow.
Wow.
And I remember that was in 2001, about January. And from that day, it's 23 years. I'm here giving God thanks.
Hallelujah! Yes, man. Thank you,
God.
Jesus. What a
Yeah.
transformation. And I don't even want to wait.
Mm-hmm.
We know currently the state of our youth.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
know. What have you been doing to see if you can help them with transformation? Or, no, not or, and what would you say to persons, youths especially, in similar situation like you were in?
All right. From time to time, I would go back to the community where I'm from, and the guys are still, why, Jack, you can't believe, you used to get a lot of trouble and you make the change. And, I'd encourage them, if I can do it, I
Right.
mean, you guys can do it. But them do what I'm after though. So from time to time, I'll talk to them, invite them out. And very active in youth ministry.
Yes.
So I tend to, share my experience with them, growing up as a youth, what were the challenges, the decisions that I have to make, did not finish high school because, we were exposed as boys that the norm, I went to all-age school, didn't pass no exam, I go right up to ninth grade.
And you know this
You know.
sad thing, you know done. So
No,
it means
that's
say,
not
it means say you just never did pay attention because
right,
you're
that
bright,
is
bright
it.
boy.
Right. So,
Yes.
so right up to ninth grade, and when I reached ninth grade, mommy get me in a high school, and for a couple of months I just come out because I just believe what I see around me. We just step on the corner, smoke weed, and go here. So, so these are my experience that I would sit and share with the youth. Don't waste no time. Don't
Yes.
procrastinate. Take on the schoolwork. Take on the schoolwork you're not supposed to do, and these kinds of stuff.
What about sports involvement in the community?
All right, all right. From time to time, I used to go over there to play football with them. But the upstir of violence and these kinds of stuff, so not much football is being played um, in the community.
Right.
And growing up, football was, go to school, leave school, just come catch
Yeah.
football. That's what kept us as boys.
Right.
So what I'm seeing now is the youths are more inclined, to what we call now the social media era.
And technology there.
Technology. So that's what they are more indoor now. We are more outdoor because we never have them smart things,
Yes.
smartphones, smart TVs. So we are outside. That outside is where we got our
But how do we
enjoyment.
reach them inside?
You know,
Jack? Like it's a real, and what you're saying is true. It's something I would think about, especially for the females.
Yeah.
How do we get to those who seem far-reaching?
All right. I think an interesting one actually was yesterday at youth meeting. We were looking at attention blockers
Tell them
ahead.
what church you go to, please.
I attend 65 Waltham Park Road, New Testament Church of God.
Yeah, that was once my church.
That was once her church until Mr. Hamilton took her away. But big up Gavin, yeah, Virgin, yeah, good youth. Yeah, so that's where I attend and specifically involved in youth ministry from a teen up to this day. And interesting, we are looking at blockers ahead, and we're looking at what are some of the stuff that prevent us as youths from developing and growing. And interesting, music came up and social media. And we asked them what are some of the substitute that we can use, to avoid these blockers. And they are saying that we need to find substitute in terms of you don't have to listen to the Skengdan and these kind
Valiant
of
and
right,
all
the
that.
Valiant and these guys. them head really no good. There's Kevin Downswell, there's DJ Nicholas, there's Ryan Mark,
Yeah.
there's Gadi. These guys are there. We can listen to them. So I think we reaching them is we just have to, see how best we can encourage them, to find substitutes. In other words, you're inside the social media, yes, it can be used in an
Right.
effective way.
Correct.
The type of music, the type of content that we take in. So it's important that we reaching them is to channel them to look at different content as opposed to what you're looking at.
Do you think the church is doing enough though in that regards for the youths?
I don't think that way. I think we have an old church, so as a result of that, they are not much inclined to technology as opposed to the youths. And interestingly, Naki, was yesterday I was speaking to one of the youth, and she's thinking about doing some mentorship thing, and she was asking, how is it that I can do this where the youth is concerned? And I pointed out, if you are going to engage the youth, if you are going to engage the context, it is important for you to be able to identify with them. And I think part of the challenge with the church is that they are not able to identify with our
I
youths.
agree.
As a result of that, the youths, them are, them run away. And as a church, as an adult, the adults might look down upon them. They don't know if we are going to reach them, we must be able to identify with them. What type of songs,
Yes.
the latest dance,
Yes.
what is happening now?
Yeah, we can't be trapped in our world.
Right.
We have to really cross over
Right.
without compromising, but we
Right,
can
right,
do that.
right.
I agree, I
Right.
agree, I agree. All right, we're gonna shift a little bit. I know you've been following, you've been saying, yeah. Remember to comment, share, like, and subscribe in the midst of it. All right, now I'm gonna go back to a little when I met you.
Yes.
So persons may be wondering, then why him? I met Jack at 65, as he pointed out earlier. He was my youth leader. And to date, I admire Jack. I admire him because I believe he is a proactive leader. Him not just sit down and not do like what you hear him saying right now and more he would have left out. He does that. He has a real passion for the church, but especially for young people, like genuine passion, and he will go above and beyond. Him article, him not behave like say, okay, I'm beyond failure, I'm beyond folly. Him have the worst laugh sometimes, but when a time for God, a God time. When a time for preach, a preaching time, and I love that. So Jack, I want to use this time to tell you publicly that I love you, I admire you, I respect you, and you're a solid family man. I would have been around you with just your wife and them time there the Janelle alone.
Yes.
Now you have two more boys, and we soon talk about the family life.
Yes.
But I love that you remain present. I love that you have a go-getter spirit. Yeah, man.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
wibby wabby. And you are not afraid to own up to your errors, put it behind you, and move forward. I love that about you.
Thank you.
And my desire is that young persons coming up, men looking on now, take a page. I will take a whole book. A whole book. And let us run with it. So let's talk family. Marianne, big up yourself. You got married very young, Jack. Like you got married as a baby.
Yes.
No, tell us the why and how marriage has been. Tell us the ins and the outs. We know what that is like. So talk to me.
All right. And interestingly, and last night again, I go back to last night. I was sharing with
Last
the
night, the
youths.
fruitful man.
Yeah, it was. From time to time, we'd sit down with the youths them and
Yeah.
share with them. And as I said, we're looking at blockers. And I tell them that when I got saved as a teenager, I just believe that women would be a hindrance to my growth.
Right.
That's what I believe. So I decided,
Woman in the sense of sexually, or you just woman no make no sense.
in terms of the girlfriend and boyfriend
Oh,
business,
yes.
So these age now
Yeah.
has to be, everybody have to be girlfriend and boyfriend.
Yes.
So I just believe different. So when I got saved and I decided to boy, I take on the journey now. I just in a girlfriend and boyfriend business until
Yes.
I'm ready for marriage. And I think it's on about 3 years thereabout, no girlfriend. And my first girlfriend in the church was my wife, And we met, and I think it's on about 11 months after we got married. You know, I was 20, she was 19. You know, April gone, it's 20 years. Um, three kids, two boys, you know, one girl, the eldest one,
They
she's
are going to have any
16.
more?
No, me tired.
Yes.
I tired of that kid. Yeah, manage, you know. Age a
Yes.
catch up of me, you know. So,
Right.
yeah, so, yeah, Danielle, she's 16. She's the eldest.
Share the sexy now.
Next year,
Wow.
she's in 10th
Hi.
grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, family is good. The boys, give a lot of trouble. The girls as well. I'm not sure if them get it from me who give a lot of trouble.
I would
Growing up,
have
not.
more you.
Marian is more reserved and
Yes. Probably feisty, but she no
yes, she
troublemaker.
not troublemaking,
No, she no
unlike me, you
run up
know.
and down and do them something.
Yeah. Marriage, as you all know, 20 years. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but we just still remain faithful to what we need
Right.
to do, as a man. You have to just ensure that things is in place, if things is not in place, Mariana will cuss and miserable and can't deal with the cussing
No.
at it. So I just ensure say boy if I go a market, I go a
Yes.
market, if
And
this to
you
do the
do your
boy them for
cooking
go
and
about.
yeah,
Yes, every
yeah.
Sunday religiously.
Yeah, we know. Our friend,
You
you
know.
still cook?
Yes,
Yeah, so
religiously.
cook for we now.
We remember those times.
Yes,
I
man.
still cook
Yeah.
religiously,
Yeah.
religiously. Even the other day, it was my birthday. And I said, boy, look here, my birthday, I feel cook for
Right.
I don't get a break from the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Cause you broke our butts already.
Yeah, I broke our bad. This is how mommy grow, all
Yeah.
of our boys ensure that we can wash, cook, and clean. So, yeah, so it's important, as I said, there's up and down. But we do what we have to do. I do what I have to do. Once me I do what I'm supposed to do,
Right.
everything is okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so the family is good. We're doing what we're supposed to do and trying to, keep it together and keep it spicy.
Beautiful. Marriage is something that persons are avoiding these days.
Yes.
What do you have to say to persons? Like, why should you get married? Like, why don't you just live without even a partner?
Okay. Yeah, I see the trend. Not a lot of weddings is taking place now compared
I'm
to
soon
then.
talk to you about your MC work, but
Yes.
you're going to.
I remember growing up, our circle was that big and everybody was getting married and these kind of stuff. And I look at the youths now and the young adults, I'm not seeing much. I think part of the challenge though is that people are more career oriented as opposed to relationship. Because then when I thought about getting married at 20, 19 year about person I said no, ready, and I was contemplating starting Bible college then. Person was saying finish Bible college first and this and that, and I said but what's the difference if I get married or I don't need to sit down and wait. So I think some of the reasons Naki, is that people are more career oriented, so they want to finish their degrees, they want to get their masters, they want to do this first and then maybe get the car, get the house, and then they can think about. Because persons maybe looking at marriage differently as opposed to then,
Right.
And for me, I think it's the same thing because, 16 year about 17 when I got saved, I start work and, Jerry ensures I buy me little bed, I buy me little TV.
Right.
So I set myself and then I say, boy, yeah, I can get one woman now. So I just believe it's really the mindset as to what the youths think is more important to them. Is it career, is it getting a work that pays a lot, because they don't want to get married and not struggle to pay on the bills. So I mean, get the papers in first. We can marry and get the papers, but it's best if we get the papers in first. So I think it's a combination of a number of things regarding the person's not more inclined to marriage these days.
I think one of the things I will hear is that the failure of marriage, divorce, is pretty much hindering. So they're fearful of
Okay.
getting into that. What do we say to young persons who think that going into marriage is definitely going to end in failure? So it makes no sense. Is it worth trying?
Yeah, I think it's worth trying because my brother got married when he was 20. His wife was 18. And they got married in
And
19.
young married as man.
Yes.
Right.
I think it was 98. We know 2003. You know how much years that Naki? Me not good in the
No,
maths.
you're better off than
All
me.
right. So them there, I am 20 years, and they were before me. So them there are a lot of years,
Yeah.
and they were my model. You know, 'cause I'm saying they got married at 18, 20, and they are years after them still did it. So me I said, then if them can do it, you know, I can do it as well. You know, I've seen persons married before them and after them, it no work out. And
Right.
you know, me them amongst there for years,
Right.
so me see how him treat Elisa, me see how how
She.
right
Right.
how them live. So I believe it is worth it. But we just have to work together. That's it. We just have to know each other, and we just have to just work together. But it can definitely work. As I said, I'm doing 20 years, and my brother gone
Yeah.
maybe,
So yeah, so give it a
lots of
try. You
years.
don't
Of
know.
course,
Just give it a try.
give
Like
it a
you say, you see
try.
some feel in between, some go and some we move on. But
Yeah.
you've been on earth long enough also you've experienced many persons through divorce or not. Some are gonna make it, some are not
Right,
gonna make it. But
right.
it don't make sense, it stop you from going in,
No, and I
right?
think the majority make it though. Just
Right.
like education. I mean,
Come
yeah,
on.
what you are going to do. We now go to
Yes.
school because you see people drop out
Thank
of
you.
school.
Thank
We are
you.
going to
That's
pursue
my same
same
view
way.
too
Yeah.
and giving your life to Jesus Christ. Some are go backslide, some
That's the
but it no
reality.
means say you not go try
Right.
because it may end up that you go through or you have an experience that even will make you more enlightened when you go again,
That's
even if you
correct. That's
backslide.
correct.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
You're an MC.
Yes.
Tell us. Me know your vibes master dance a long time, but Mr. say you take out this MC thing full fledged. We have to drop in some man clips them as a MC. Cause we have to go book him, you understand? Yeah, we have put
Yes.
up him
Yes.
number so I want to book him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've never seen this before. Roman racer style. Come on, Chaser. Come on, Chaser. You find the spot. Right, Chaser, you find the spot now. Roman racer. Roman racer. Put your hands together. Put your hands together.
What made you decide to be an MC? Do you focus mostly on weddings or anything at all? Tell us.
Functions generally.
Talk to us.
MC, I think, as Naki pointed out, the Vibes Master. And, I was invited years ago to just, be the MC. And I'm like, I'm a bit shy though, but,
What you
sometimes.
do, Jack?
Eh?
What you say
I'm
do?
shy, man. Sometimes I shy away. I mean, shy away from
From
doing
things.
things.
Okay.
Sometimes you can't
Okay.
make a man.
I
Let
get
somebody
that.
else do it.
Yes.
Yeah, so that happened. We do a little way now. And first, some boy, John, Virgin. Take up the thing, serious man. And then from that, because my brother, Jerry, they do weddings and these kinds of stuff. So,
Or what
from,
you mean, like the cooking or the
yeah, man, them do everything, man.
Oh.
Everything. And get a nice little package. So from time to time, they put me a part of the package
Oh,
as
nice.
an MC. So, get a couple little work and thing. And
Yes.
I just go and do it,
Yes.
And I say, but, say, after I finish work and thing, and people say, Johnny, where you come from, man? We enjoy
Yeah.
it and thing. And
Yeah.
say, take up the thing, and just carry with it. Yeah, so,
You love it?
yeah. Yeah, man, I enjoy doing it. I always look forward to it.
Beautiful. That's a nice side
Yeah,
hustle.
man. Yes,
It's
I always look forward to it,
yes,
man.
it's a nice side hustle for carry
Yes,
on
and
your
allow
family
me to
and
dress
this.
up too,
Yeah,
So,
and we know
we
you love the dressing up, And him love it. Yes, doing to your
Yes,
socks and
yes.
these things.
Nothing has changed.
Them man, they love
Yeah.
them suit and them nice socks and them something them
Yes.
have to put together from the head to him too and so
Yes,
clean.
yes.
How often you go barber job?
Once per week.
See them? Him have to go every
Once per
time.
week.
Alright, so we're shifting gears a little. we have spoken about your early life. We've spoken about just the church, aspect of the church. But I want to hear, what do you enjoy doing in the church? And I want you to tell us about you as a preacher. Do you intend to have a church? Do you intend to take up pastoral fully? What is that journey like for you?
I love this man and I love the wife that he has chosen. I love the woman that she has become. I know her for 9 years since this man interested. It's big boss. Big boss. Me and you have problem in there. You get me in a problem. Alright, watch it. Stay with the DJ till we don't talk. So where was that? You love the man, right? Yo, Bulby. I forgot to talk about that brother when we're done. You see me?
Alright, what I enjoy in the church, I have youth ministry. I've been currently serving as the assistant youth director at church. I would have served in a number of, youth areas, youth fellowship president, young adults ministry president, and these kinds of stuff. But I realize it takes, and like youth fellowship days, it take a lot of time planning away from the family.
Yes.
So I just decided
Ministry
over the
in
years,
general.
yes, take a lot of time,
Yes.
is to step back a bit, So they wanted to be the youth director and thing. I know they want to put me up on council board, all this kind of stuff, evangelism director. So I just decided that, I'll assist. That's the reason why I'm assistant youth director.
Right.
So I just figured that, years of experience, somebody can go ahead, I could drop in, you have to just steer the process. So I've been in youth ministry all my years, evangelism as well. So it's evangelism. I used to teach Sunday school, COVID come in and things, so no longer teaching Sunday school anymore. So it's just really youth ministry. Youth ministry involves the children, the teens, and the young adults, and sports and those kind of stuff. In regarding to preaching, I completed 3 years at Bethel Bible College, Kingston Extension. Did some studies, got a certificate and stuff. Not becoming any pastor. I'm more, I'm a road person. So it's more, evangelism per se. So the idea now is to try. The other day I was having a discussion with my pastor. And my good friend Howard and I going to Bible college. Finish up Howard, a pastor now.
Yes, I saw him. He came by Shortwood and I saw him delivering something. And I said, oh, but I didn't realize. I said, oh.
Yeah, he's a part of the pastoral team at Waltham now. So we have 4 pastors and he's one of them. So it's the other day, me and Marie and I said, Bridget, you need to. So I'm thinking, I made contact to start back. I think the first thing is to get credentials in terms of minister.
Yes.
But that's it. But it's as far as more.
I believe it's one of your calling, and when you're calling too.
God not forget you, God not forget you. God depend on your business and gotta work out your breakthrough. But my brother, we have to wait. We can't give up. Sometimes we want to give up, because when we look and we see the bills them pile up. GPS deba.
Pastor though.
Okay. Alright. Not your thing.
No.
No. Alright. Nothing wrong with that.
Road,
if a road is set, then a road where I go flow.